What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is going to be my comprehensive analysis and review of Ninja Shamir, and I'll be going over the best builds that you can run for different game modes like Arena, PvE, and of course Aether raids. So if you do enjoy these free to play guides, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe. And I've also done some changes to the presentation, so again I would really appreciate your feedback in the comments. So with that said, let us begin. Ninja Shamir is a 182 BST 6th gen Axe Infantry unit with Shuriken Cleaver as her weapon. So this is an inheritable weapon, and this is pretty much similar to Ninja Massacre, except for the fact that this doesn't give you any kind of extra speed and instead gives you true damage based on the 50% difference between the speed stat of Shamir against the foe. And the max true damage that you can get from this weapon is going to be +4. So I think that it definitely helps in many matchups and securing KOs against units who are going to be extremely bulky. So I'm personally liking Shuriken Cleaver a lot more than Ninja Massacre. And her stat spread is really similar, so similar in fact that she can even be considered like another Ninja Hana. So Ninja Hana was released last year and she can get 10 Dragon Flowers, so she can pretty much close out the gap and in fact have one more speed point than Shamir in the long run, while Shamir has got better visible resistance and defense. So the gap isn't really too big if you have invested into Hana heavily, but if you want to invest into Shamir, then she's obviously going to be a better choice than Ninja Hana because she is a newer unit, so she scores better in Arena. So that is her main selling point as a 185 BST unit for Arena game mode. And she's available in the Grail pool and the free-to-play pool, so if you haven't really invested into a new unit for that BST, then she can be a really fantastic option. And people have used Ninja Hana over there and they obviously know that she is a good unit and can be pretty versatile, so Shamir is no different. As for her base kit, she does come with attack speed 2 and attack speed Oath at 5 star. So this Oath skill is actually pretty amazing for self-sufficiency, because if you're not able to run tactic skills or have your units run some kind of buffing skill, then you can just be self-sufficient and run the skill. But then again, there are a lot of good slotsy skills like Time Pulse, the Joint Drive skills, and of course the Menace skills. So it's fairly competitive now, and I can see why they have now finally given us this kind of Oath skill. Shamir also has the Speed Super Boon, and that is going to be the boon that pretty much everyone is going to be using at max investment because she can easily run the damage reduction builds. You should always try to build your favorites. That's pretty much the unspoken rule of FEH, because if you try to chase after meta, it's a never-ending race. And if you like Shamir a lot, then she can of course be a really good investment as a unit because she has got amazing offenses and she can work with a lot of builds. She's also a 185 scoring unit in Arena, so if you like her and if you're also lacking a good scoring unit, then she could be an option if you haven't already invested into Ninja Hana. She also works really well as a Gale Force unit in Aether raids because of her high speed and the fact that she can use Flashing Blade 4 and also be pretty strong, especially in the Astra season. There are definitely some reasons if you don't want to build her. The first and the biggest one is that she doesn't have a preferred weapon, which means that she might suffer the same fate as Ninja Hana from a year or two from now, because she's a seasonal unit and that means that she's probably never getting a weapon refine. So maybe next year we might get another Axe Infantry unit who scores a bit higher than Shamir and has got better stat allocation. And if you're just building her up for the arena scoring, then you may want to consider investing into a bit more unique unit, maybe with a preferred weapon, probably down the line that we might get in the Grail pool. And if you've already built up Ninja Hana or Calic as your 180 BST Axe Infantry unit, then the small bump and the small upgrade of investing into Shamir is really not going to be worth it for all of the resources that she will need to act as a arena unit. So if you already have Ninja Hana, then unless you really like Shamir, I don't really see too much of a point of building her up. But if you haven't really invested into Ninja Hana, then Shamir is clearly the better choice to invest into because she's a newer unit who can score better in Arena. And I personally like Shamir a lot more as a character than Ninja Hana, so if I had to invest into an Axe Infantry unit, I'd probably choose Shamir over Ninja Hana any day of the week. But again, I'm just waiting for a seasonal unit who probably has some kind of preferred weapon. I don't know if we'll ever get that. In my last video on the weapon refines, I did ask you guys feedback on if you liked the highlighting feature which I used for highlighting the builds which I'm talking about, and I got a lot of mixed responses, so I pretty much tried to incorporate all of the criticism I got into this kind of new showcase presentation. So let me know if you like it or not. So I pretty much have this kind of white border and the glow around the unit, which I'm going to be talking about. So this can give you the context on which build I'm exactly talking about. Again, let me know in the comments if you like this or not. Your feedback means a lot, and that's pretty much how I can improve my content. So it really is necessary. So the first build is a budget build. If you want to just use it for Arena Assault, then this will suffice with Desperation and Blade Session. You can also run some other slotty skills like Susparo, Fury, or Life and Death, but for most of us who just want to use it in Arena Assault, this will still be pretty fine. And if you want to invest a bit more into her, then running Flashing Blade 4 and Null Follow-Up is going to be pretty fantastic from the Divine Code section. And she can just function as a Gale Force unit with this kind of build. You can also run Desperation or even run Time Pulse or Cook and Pulse to have a 4-turn Gale Force. Having more merges is always going to be helpful, but these builds can also be run at lower investment if you're still on the fence of investing into Shamir, but at the same time you really like her. Pelagian Axe is absolutely amazing as an inheritable weapon for tanking, and this build can be used for damage reduction tanking with Spurn and Distant Counter, and Attack Smoke has really good synergy with the Pelagian Axe, and it's also on a budget, so it does help. Attack Speed Solo or any kind of solo boosting Sacred Seal is going to be helping you with this build. You can run Moonbow with this kind of build, but Soul can also be nice if you just want to have some kind of healing, and this is mainly for like PvE content if you just want to use her as a tank. So she can be pretty self-sufficient with those attack debuffs and the healing. If you want to invest heavily into her, then you can of course give her the florets to her attack and speed, and you can also run Distant Stance or Distant Counter with Unbound Axe, which does have the lull attack defense built into it with the solo condition, and Mystic Boost could be used for healing if you're running a damaging special. And John Drive Attack or John Drive Speed is a really good option for her slots as well. You can also just use her for the player phase with Frenzy and Susparo, and Time Pulse will bring down Gale Force cooldown to 4 so that she can easily trigger her Flashing Blade with Shuriken Cleaver, and even trigger this against units who are really bulky and who may have the guard effect. And finally, if you want to use her for Arena, like most people are going to be using her for, then you can just run her with Unbound Axe. I feel like that's pretty much the best weapon for Arena because it has got the lull attack defense built into it, and pretty much everyone is going to be running the rally skills in Arena, so it really helps you to have the skill in her weapon. And for Arena purpose, I feel like Close Call is going to be a bit better than Spurn. You're going to be losing out on some damage output, but with Close Call, the movement utility is super useful in Arena, where you do not have access to the assist skills in general. So I do like Close Call for Arena purpose, and you can just run an expensive special. Cryptic Sky is the lowest cooldown one, so it does help trigger in a single round of combat for securing a lot of KOs. Pelagian Axe is also another option, but I feel like losing out on the lull attack defense effect is a pretty big blow compared to Unbound Axe. And Pelagian Axe can be run if you want to run a menace skill on her slot C. It does have pretty good synergy with that. And if you're running the Pelagian builds, then I feel like you're debuffing the attack of the opponent by a lot. So Ruptured Sky does give you less damage in general. So at that point, you pretty much want to run Aether or Gale Force as her special. You can also use her in Aether raids as a pretty amazing Gale Force unit by having her with Flashing Blade 4, Wings of Mercy, and Time Pulse. And Shuriken Cleaver with its true damage and the Brave effect is going to be really helpful in securing the KOs. And you can also be running her with just the solo Gale Force build by having Desperation and Defense Smoke. This build needs some kind of intervention of Winter Bernadetta or Duma just damaging you with that upheaval damage, so that you can use your assist skill to drop into the Wings of Mercy range of your allies and your dancers, and you can just go ahead and quad everything and kill everything with Shamir alone, and just take the help of dancers like Plumeria, Duo Peony, also Duo Dorothea can be a good partner with Shamir. So all of those are options if you can have Winter Bernadetta on your team for those consistent Gale Force setups. Shamir is a modern unit, but I feel like she would have been a much better unit if she was a Sword Infantry unit, because the last Sword Infantry that we got was Nemesis, that too last year, and he cannot even reach 180 BST for Arena usage. So I feel like her being a Sword Infantry or even a Lance Infantry could have been a much better option than just being Axe Infantry like Ninja Hana from last year. And attack speed 2 is not that amazing in 2021. So if she came with attack speed ideal, then I would have definitely liked that. So let me know what you think about my theory craft, if you liked it or not, or if you just prefer having the Axe Shamir. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to share this video with your friends who are thinking of building up Shamir. I definitely went over a lot of the builds, and if you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, then you can always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH analysis videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I wish YouTube sub boxes would show my videos as many times as the amount of Axe Infantry units present in the free to play and the Grail pool. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.